Hey there, music maker. My name's Griffin, and welcome back for another video lesson here at Mandolin Secrets. In today's lesson, we're going to be showing you the chords to the classic fiddle tune, Forked Deer. And yes, that is exactly how you pronounce it, not forked. That doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well, does it? But yeah, Forked Deer. A great standard tune that has definitely made its way into bluegrass and old-time circles. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a super basic bass strum pattern to this tune. There are a lot of chords in this one, specifically the A part. We change chords every beat. So, as I've mentioned before, whenever I can simplify one kind of element, whether that be the right hand or the left hand, in order to let the other one shine through, I think it's a good thing to aid the learning process and gives us more of a solid foundation for actually how to play rhythm on this tune. But stay tuned though, because I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for how to use that basic bass strum pattern and spice it up a little bit once you feel comfortable with it. Before we go ahead and dive into the lesson though, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button below and clicking the bell notification button, that's a great way to keep up with all the new content that we're releasing every week here on Mandolin Secrets. Also, if you're interested in a more enhanced learning experience with PDFs of tab and sheet music for all of these tunes, as well as backing tracks, play-along tracks, and other educational tools, check out the link below to the Mandolin Secrets Guitar Club. There you'll find all of the stuff I talked about and more, plus access to our community where you can ask questions to me, Magnus Zetterlund, as well as the rest of the Mandolin Secrets Guitar Club community. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into learning the chords to Forked Deer. As I mentioned, the chords to this one kind of come by quick in the A part, so let's review what those chords are in order, and then we'll dive into some demonstrations, okay? So the chord that we start with is D. That's actually the key of the tune that we're in right now, the key of D. And I'll mention right now, if you haven't had a chance to check out our lesson on the melody to Forked Deer yet, definitely open up a new tab and bookmark that one, because you're going to want to learn the tune and how to play all of those melody notes in the left hand as well as the chords. So we're in the key of D for this one. And this is our standard D chord shape, right? Open D chord. We've got first finger on second fret of G, ring on third fret of B, middle on second fret of high E. And we strum from the D string down, do a D strum, A strum. So that's our basic bass strum for 4 beats there. The next chord we're using is a G, and I prefer the 4-finger variant. So middle on third fret of low E, index on second fret of A, ring finger on third fret of B, pinky on third fret of high E. And then our bass drum pattern is the low string, low E, strum, D string, strum. After G, we go back to a D chord. We already reviewed that one. Then after that one, we switch to an A chord. And I always like to point out, when I switch from a D chord to an A chord, I leave that index down and then just kind of sandwich around it there. Chord ergonomics for you. You can even just slide that finger back on the B string too. That's a crafty way to get it. So there's your A chord, middle on the second fret of D, index second fret of G, and ring second fret of B. And we hit the A string, strum, and then E string, strum. And then we pretty much do the same thing for the next 4 bars. We've got our D chord again, G, and then here's where things change just slightly. We get 2 beats of D, so D strum, a G chord for 2, G strum, A for 2, A strum, and then D for 2. Almost messed up there. Awesome. The B part to this tune, super simple. We're just reusing the same chord, so let's review that one real quick. We've got 3 bars of A, second bar, third bar, and then a D chord for 1, 2 more bars of A, and then that same ending from the A part. 2 beats of D, 1, 2, 2 beats of G, 3, 4, 2 beats of A, 1, 2, and then 2 beats of D. 3, 4. All right, my friend, let's go ahead and dive into the slow version of this tune so we can get our feet under us on the chords to Forked Deer. Let's go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, my friend, that is it for the slow version. Let's bump that metronome up to 160 beats per minute and see how we sound on the chord changes to Forked Deer. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my friend, that's it for the fast chord changes. But if you remember at the beginning of this video, I said I was going to show you some kind of tips and tricks to spice up that basic bass strum pattern. So let's review that real quick. I'm just going to show you what to do on a D chord because the element that I'm about to give you can actually apply to all of the chords you play because it's a right hand pattern. So if you've listened to most bluegrass music, you'll realize that the patterns I'm showing you here don't sound exactly like your favorite guitar players. Doc Watson, Tony Rice, Norman Blake, any of the folks that you love that are flat pickers. And that's because I'm just doing the most basic right hand pattern that we can generate to get the bass strum rhythm that's kind of the bedrock of that style of music. So just to review, our D chord, it's open D, strum, open A, strum, and then lather, rinse, repeat, right? There's one really simple thing you can do with your right hand here to make it sound more bluegrassy. Instead of a down strum on the offbeats, you can do a down up strum as eighth notes on the offbeats. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So by adding some of those strums on the offbeats, those up strums that is, you're going to make this sound a little more like your favorite guitar players. The funny thing is, there's no standard pattern for where to place those up strums. Some people will play 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and, or conversely, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Or they'll just do it randomly, wherever in the heck they want to do it. I know that that's kind of the approach that I take, and that really comes from just listening to my favorite rhythm guitar players, watching them a bunch, and kind of mimicking the specific patterns they do, or trying to approximate those patterns, right? So mess around with that a little bit. Do some of those down-up strums as eighth notes on beats 2 and 4 of each measure, and you're going to get that rhythm to sound a little more like the bluegrass music that you listen to. All right, my friend, before we get out of here, drop us a comment below and let us know what you think about the chord changes to this tune and that little kind of up strum technique that I showed you for this one. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts and see if you're getting some value out of that in the practice room. All right, my friend, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next one.